Hello, welcome to Crafting at the Clinton Public Library. I'm here today to bring you the August Quilt Block of the Month. This is my example. The block this month is known as Susanna. I was not able to find any history of this, and the pattern is very reminiscent of another pattern, but I could not locate it in any of my resources. But it's a simple 12 patch using 3 different colors. The colors I used are for my dark. I used my dark in the center. I used a medium, and this one, even though it is a floral pattern, reads as a light from a distance. Uh, it it is a simple block, but the addition of something new to learn this month is I'm also going to include 2 variations. So there are 3 different ways to make this block to look like this. I have 2 of them here in colors that may make it a little easier to see. In this example, they used the light. They used their dark fabric for I call these the blue legs or the dark legs, and then a center block. If you wanted to get very fancy, if you are using the solid block center, you could do that with a fussy cut, which we learned a couple of months ago. So this block is made up of 16 small blocks with 1 additional center color block. So you would be cutting 8 small white ones, 8 small mediums, and 1 slightly larger third color. It is fairly interchangeable as to whether you want the center to be the dark or the medium, but the center and the legs can be switched. One of the variations that I'm going to show you is making the entire thing with the smaller blocks, but the center 4, and I don't have this on the picture, the center 4 would be half square triangles, and these would be regular plain triangles. Plain squares. The second variation for this is shown here in this picture, where you have a rectangle medium piece with a half triangle sewn across one end. The 4 triangle pieces are then paired together to make the square in the center. The instructions for all 3 types, the original and the 2 variations, will be included with the packet. Just to show you some examples of what this could look like, I did find a picture using this pattern with just 2 squares to make a table runner. I could easily see this being done with perhaps spring colors and autumn colors to make a reversible table runner, so you could use it in both the spring and the autumn. If you like this block and you have spare fabric and spare time, you might want to try all 3 variations to see which way you like it better. Once this block is put together, in the runner, they divided it with sashing. If you did not use sashing, you would have the legs kind of interlocking, and then the corner lighter fabrics would be making L shapes, and it does make a nice secondary pattern. The instructions for this will be available as an online PDF, and again, if you ever have any questions, feel free to call me here at the library and I would happily help you over the phone. You can put a comment on the video and we will receive it, and I will be able to answer it either online or by contacting you. And you can also email me at circulation4@Clinton Public Library. And I will be happy to answer your questions and get back to you. I did want to point out one thing I did. As I was cutting the squares from a block, I found I was short just slightly on an entire piece to make a patch for my quilt. Since this is kind of an all-over print, it's a dotted fabric, I was able to sew two pieces together to make the size of block that I need. When it is all put together and you're looking at it from a distance, it doesn't even look like there's much seam in the block. You're catching a little shadow from the camera and the backlighting, but normally once it's quilted and there's something behind it, you wouldn't even be able to see that small seam. So keep that in mind. It would not have worked quite as well if I had to do it with the flowered fabric or my darker fabric, unless I could make the seam across the darker solid blue area. Be careful if you are trying to do that. Maybe lay them together, look at it from a distance, and see if it is very noticeable. I hope you would enjoy doing this pattern. I did step back to something a little more simple to bring in the idea of variations, to use the block or to create the blocks in different ways to get the same overall pattern. If you enjoy this, definitely let me know, and I would love to see photos of your blocks being posted. That's it for today from the Clinton Public Library Craft Room. And I hope you are enjoying your summer, and we'll see you soon.